Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, your regular dose of insights and motivation for merchant service sales, digital marketing, and personal growth.
Hey, good morning. John Johnson here with Get Your Mind Right, the world's only podcast made especially for merchant services and digital marketing professionals. Hey, folks, we are in episode 7 of Overcoming Objections. We left off the other day talking about snap decisions. If you haven't caught that, it's very easy to go back, watch that episode, and bring up to speed here. So, let's talk about some more things that you come up with and some possible rebuttals you might use when someone tells you they don't make snap decisions. All right. And there's a couple of ways to do this. We're going to have a whole series about this later. but what happens is human beings, they sometimes will get high-centered and they'll get stuck on a point. Okay. And what they do is that they can't get around this point. Sometimes it might be big, sometimes it might be small. But even if there is a great reward at the other end of this obstacle, they're just getting hung up on this point. So what we want to do in this instance is we want to take them out of the present situation they're in, whatever point it is that they're hung up on. It might be snap decisions, and we want to take them to that future event, okay? We want to get them in a place where they can imagine we can work past through this huddle and what that future event is going to look like and how they're going to be better off. For example, that customer has given you the objection that I don't make snap decisions. And what I want to say is, Mr. Client, I've had other clients say this. And you know what happens when they get that first merchant statement? And I'm going to call you up after you get it. And that merchant sees all the hard-earned money that they're saving versus giving it all to Visa, MasterCard. They say they're never going back to the old way. Once again, I'm going to battle this with facts. I'm going to tell them that less than 1% of all buyer's choice customers go back to traditional processing. Well, why? Because it works and it puts money in that merchant's pocket. Now, another one I'm going to give. And I don't want you to be too loose with this because what I want is conviction, not just from me, but I want it from my client. So here's what I'm going to do. If I think a client thinks that they're going to be stuck or they paint themselves in a corner, they're going to be getting themselves into a situation they can't get out of. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them, you know what, Mr. Client, I'm so convinced this is going to work. I'm going to give you an ironclad guarantee. If you're one of the less than 1% of the folks for whom buyer's choice does not work, I'm going to switch you back to your traditional processing at a lower rate than what you're paying. This is an offer quite literally devoid of any risk whatsoever. Now, why do I want to hold this in my back pocket? Well, first of all, a couple of reasons. Number one is I feel like I should be good enough at my presentation and good enough with my dialogue with the merchant that they are going to say yes to this and they're going to go forward with it. The other thing that's doing is that I am introducing fear, uncertainty, and doubt that may not be there with the client anyway, okay? Let's say, for example, there's a danger here. What I did was I offered for the less than 1% for whom this does not work. Well, you've met people with the mentality before that, well, if lightning's going to strike, it's going to hit me. If I have that guy who has that mentality, I may have just planted a seed that wasn't there before. The other thing about this is that by not offering this exit ramp right up front, okay, I feel that you're putting more onus on yourself to really get better at your pitch and do a great job pitching this. The last thing is at the end of the day, I think that when you start talking about, if you're just one of these that doesn't work out or will switch you back or whatever, you're really weakening your presentation. You're saying, well, at the end of the day, this may not work out for you. Folks, that's all the time that we have for today, but I will see you back here on Wednesday. Until then, keep your mind right.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30 Eastern. Like, follow, share, and set your reminders. And remember, always keep your mind right.